Clutch Trucker, filmed before a live and furry studio audience. Rusty, the world-famous Meatball Dog. And I have had a lot of people ask, why is he called the Meatball Dog? Well, because he's a meatball. When I was a little kid, and I was acting silly or whatever, my parents would always say, "You're being a meatball." So that's what I say to him when he's acting silly. He's being a meatball. He's a meatball dog. That's all that is. Hey YouTube, Clutch Trucker here. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Clutch Trucker channel. Alright, the subject of today's video is best pizza options for truckers. And speaking of pizza, I have to show, this is another thing I always carry with me, the Tide pin. I don't know if you've ever used one of these, but you know, if you get like a spot on your shirt or something, you just take the cap off, you push it down and put some of that oozes out there, and you scrub it around a little bit and gets rid of those little stains on your shirt and stuff. Because, you know, sure as crap, I will have just taken a shower like today, put on a new shirt, and then I look down and I'm like, what the hell, how did I get, So I use the Tide pin, baby, thank you. I'm a huge fan of pizza. I can live pretty much off of pizza and Mexican food. Those are my two favorites. That's why always in the truck I always carry with me, like right here I've got some homemade taco meat, baby. Always cook up some of that when I go home so I can just heat it up in the microwave, heat up some tortillas, throw it on there and have some cheese. It's a beautiful thing. Also, I love the Jose Ole Taquitos. You can get those at Dollar General, and if I'm running low on those, I'll try to find a Dollar General I can get near so I can get me some of them taquitos. Oh, and also to dip them in, the Tostitos, what do they call it? Salsa con queso. It's a beautiful thing. Thanks to my George Foreman, I can also cook up hot dogs and hamburgers and grilled cheese here in the truck. Plus I can make sandwiches. I'm going to do a whole other video all about that, cooking in the truck, or just preparing food in the truck, because I tend to mostly eat out of the truck because the crap at truck stops, for one, it's expensive. It's not all that good for you. Sometimes it doesn't taste all that good, and a lot of times it can mess with your stomach. As I get older, I notice a lot of the times I eat stuff out and This is a video I've been meaning to do for quite some time, talking about pizza. And what finally dawned on me to do it was where I am parked tonight, or early this morning. Here it is, the 12th of November, Thursday morning, early Thursday morning. Got here at about 4 a.m. Central Time. And I'm parked at the Pilot right across the street. I normally don't park at a Pilot, but the reason I'm parked at the Pilot is because right across the street is my favorite pizza all over that I can get near with a truck, that I can get Bubba's Pizza, Fremont, Indiana. It's a beautiful thing. So that's why I decided, let's talk about pizza. I got here at least because I normally don't get here because it's on the turnpike, and I normally don't take the turnpike, but I've got to make it all the way to Fife, Washington. When last we spoke, I had that load that went to Dover, Delaware, the city that means well. Then after that, I picked up in Palmyra, Pennsylvania at General Mills. The guy there was a jerk. That delivered in Newburgh, New York on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, yesterday, I picked up at Where the Best, W-E-A-R, Where the Best, not We're the Best. Dog snacks and chews and things like that, going all the way to Fife, Washington. So it's a long way across, and so I thought, okay, I'm going to suck it up and drive the turnpike, and that way I can go through Fremont, Indiana, and hopefully tomorrow afternoon get my favorite pizza, and that's number one on my list, Bubba's Pizza. Now, Bubba's Pizza is a little independent thing. It's not a chain, although it should be. Their pizza is really good. I tend to usually get the pepperoni and meatball pizza. That's a beautiful thing. Sometimes they're out of the meatballs, and so if they are, I'll get the pepperoni and Canadian bacon. Their Canadian bacon is really, really good. It's, you know, it's real Canadian bacon, not just pieces of ham like Papa John's or somebody will do. Oh, that's Canadian bacon. I'm like, no, that's not. It's a little different, You're talking to pizza connoisseur here. Know what I'm talking about. Anyway, their pizza is really good. They just have really kind of limited hours, and like I say, it's on the turnpike, so I don't tend to get here very often. I haven't been here probably since before COVID. So I tried once during COVID, and they had really limited hours. So I'm hoping I can still get one tomorrow afternoon. Bubba's Pizza, Fremont, Indiana. They do have a website. It's home of Dopey Dough, which is something else they make, which is kind of like just deep fried parts of pizza dough, glazed, and so I have never had that. But their pizza is awesome. So they make the number one on my list for pizza that truckers can get to or get near, Bubba's Pizza, Fremont, Indiana. Okay, number 2 on my list is Casey's. Some of you truck drivers, I'm sure, are already aware of Casey's. They have some of their stores, their convenience stores, gas stations. Some of them have truck parking, not all of them, and actually not very many of them. So you have to kind of figure out after, seeing them few and knowing where to go. You can look on Trucker Path, and Trucker Path will usually have them listed and show if there's truck parking there. Sometimes actually they'll say there's 1 or 2 spots and there's really not on Trucker Path, but that at least means you can get in there to get one. And Casey's, C-A-S-E-Y''S, is Midwest based. They're mainly in Iowa, Illinois, Nebraska, Missouri is where you're going to find those. I think they're rebuilding the one that had quite a few truck spots at exit 92, I want to say, off I-80 in Iowa. Last time I tried to go there, I went over there, the building's gone. They're completely redoing it. But they tend to rebuild some. There's one I know near, it's in Cozad, Nebraska, that I'll stop at sometimes. It's got like 15 truck spots. You can order your Casey's pizza there. They do the dough in the house, in the store every day. So like Bubba's, it's, fresh dough, fresh pizza. It's really good. I tend to order just the pepperoni, or maybe pepperoni and sausage or something from Casey's. I know like there's a Casey's in Kansas that has quite a bit of truck parking I've parked at. I can't remember the name of the town, but they're kind of, like I say, Midwest based. But Casey's, for fresh, homemade pizza, they'd be number 2 on my list. Now, next on my list of best pizza options for truckers is also Midwest based, mainly in Iowa, Wisconsin. There's tons of them in Wisconsin. I think a couple in Illinois, maybe. That's about it. Okay, they're pretty much in only those 2 states, or those few states. Quick Trip, not to be confused with a Quick Trip with a Q. That's mainly down in like the southern states, more like Oklahoma and then south from there. But Quick Trip with a K and KwikStar, they're co-owned. Okay. The thing I really like about those places is their convenience store is almost more like a mini grocery store. You can buy steak at a Quick Trip. You can buy fresh meat. They have a lot of different dairy options. They've got a lot of different stuff. Their homemade cookies, they're beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. All right, so they make their own fresh donuts, which are wonderful. But their pizza, since that's what we're talking about, is pretty good. It's actually pre-made. It's like a pre-frozen one or whatever, but they always have a row of them out in a cooler that are thawed out, so they're ready to be cooked. And the beautiful thing about the KwikStar and Quick Trip is you can go in there at 4 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, and pull a pepperoni and sausage pizza off of the rack, bring it to the register, you pay for it, and you say, "Cook this for me," and they will. And it takes them like 5 minutes, and it's not bad. So for the value, and their value, it's very cheap. It's only like I always get the thin crust, okay? Outside of Bubba's and Casey's, from there, they're the only ones I like that have a thicker crust. But I tend to get the thin crust that they have at the KwikStar and Quick Trip, and it's only like $7.99 normally, and I think it's Tuesday, something like that, it's only $4.99. Not bad at all. And they cook it right up for you. You get a pizza and you can get it 24 hours a day. That's the beautiful thing that I like about the KwikStar and Quick Trip pizza. It's pretty good, and like I say, for the taste to value ratio, Clutch Trucker approved, baby. Thank you. Okay, moving on to number 4 on the list is Come and Go. And I know if you're not familiar with Come and Go, why is it spelled that way? It's just one letter away from being something pretty nasty. But anyway, I know my sister visited me from New York, and we're driving back from Colorado into Wyoming, and we passed a Come and Go, and she said, "Is that really, Come and Go?" Like, I know, I don't know why they spell it that way. But anyway, they have some pretty decent pizza. And again, they're mostly Midwest based. There's a lot of them in Iowa. There's some in Nebraska, some in Colorado. We have some in Wyoming. We've got a couple in Cheyenne. I think I've seen some in Illinois. But their pizza is pretty good. And they have some good deals depending on the day of the week. Like on Mondays, I think you can get any large pizza for only $8. Again, I like their thin crust better than their regular crust. Outside, like I say, of the top two, Bubba's and Casey's, I tend to go for the thin crust. I tend to like that better. And their thin crust is really pretty good. And I tend to always get the pepperoni and Italian sausage from them. And it's really good. Like I say, I think it's Mondays, their pizzas are $8. And Fridays, 2 for 1. 2 for 1, that's right. They're a little more pricey. On the regular price, it's like $12.99 for a large one-topping pizza. But on Friday, you get 2 of them. So, I'll get 2 on a Friday if I'm like, I know there's one in Gretna, Nebraska that's got some truck spots I'll stop at, and I'll get one there. There's another one in Iowa, I can't remember, near Underwood, Iowa, that I'll sometimes stop at and get one. You can park your truck behind. And if it's a Friday, yeah, I'll definitely get one from them. And I'll get one from them over Casey's, because then I get one, I eat that for lunch, and I have a whole other pizza to put in the fridge to save, to eat off of for the next couple of days. So come and go. Although they're spelled weird, their pizza is really pretty good. You can see kind of a theme here. Unfortunately, most of these places are all in like the Midwest, and Iowa's got all of them. So outside of that, your options get a little more slim. But come and go. Yeah, they come in for me at number 4 for best pizza options for truck drivers. Alrighty, and coming in at number 5, Domino's. Okay, they're the only national chain I really put on my list here, because for a couple of reasons. For one, Domino's pretty much, about a year ago, started kind of being real flexible about their deliveries. And they started delivering to truck stops and things like that, especially when COVID really hit. And they were really desperate to get business. I've had no problem being I was at a TA, I can't remember where it was, off I-77, I think. And I found there was a Domino's nearby. I ordered online. I just put in the instructions, blue Freightliner near the fuel islands, truck number blah, blah, blah. And they'd come out, and then they, of course, do the no contactless delivery. They set it on my step for me. But it's a beautiful thing. Now, Domino's, I don't think is as good tasting as the previous 4 I mentioned. But, I like the thin crust from Domino's better than their regular crust. I think the regular crust still tastes a little more like cardboard. Their thin crust is pretty good. I always try to ask them to put it in a pie cut instead of... Why some places who sell pizza at thin crust think they need to cut it in those little squares where you can't grab the edge of it? Doesn't that drive you freaking nuts? It does me. I always ask for the pie cut. I only get it about 25% of the time. But the reason Domino's is a good deal for truck drivers is, like I say, for one, they will deliver to most truck stops and right to your truck. And 2, they still have that deal. Any 2 or more items for $5.99. So what I'll do is I'll order a thin crust pizza for $5.99. And again, like with the Come and Go, I usually get the pepperoni and Italian sausage. And then I also get the pasta. The chicken Alfredo pasta is really good from Domino's. So what I'll do is I'll get the pizza for lunch, and then I'll save the pasta. It'll be for lunch or dinner the next day. I'll stick it in the fridge, and then just nuke it up a little bit. Of course, it's in a tinfoil bowl, so you got to put it into a regular bowl before you put it in the microwave. Can't put tinfoil in the microwave. So I put it in like just a paper bowl, and then heat it up in the microwave, and I've got a great second meal. So then for $12, plus the delivery and tip, maybe $20 complete, I still get 2 meals that are decent and better than the crap in most truck stops for $20, and it's delivered right to me. So Domino's, yeah, you come in there at number 5. Now number 6 on my list, and that's where my list is ending of recommended good pizza options for truckers, is Hunt Brothers Pizza. It's pretty good, all right? It's not bad. For a convenience store pizza that a lot of convenience stores have, Hunt Brothers really is not too bad. My favorite to get from them is just, they give you unlimited toppings, all for the same price. It's around $10, $10 to $11. so you can load it up. But I tend to not like have too many toppings on my pizza. I like just a couple of toppings at most, and let the cheese and the sauce and everything else do it for me. All right. Hunt Brothers, I always order the regular crust from Hunt Brothers. They do have a thin, I think, but I like their regular crust better. And what I found is I always carry some ranch dressing with me, and I'll put some of that out, and I'll eat the pizza slice and dip then what's left of the crust in the ranch dressing. It's a beautiful thing. I always get like the pepperoni and beef from Hunt Brothers. That's my favorite. Like I say, for a convenience store type pizza, they're pretty darn good. They're a little more expensive, so like compared to Come and Go for the value or Quick Trip for the value, they're not as good. That's why they're higher up on my list. But not bad if I'm just craving a pizza. I know they're at a few TAs. They've got the TA in Brooklyn, Iowa has Hunt Brothers Pizza. Again, Iowa. You have all these options in Iowa. If you want pizza, you're hog wild in Iowa. The Petro in Gadsden, Alabama, I know has Hunt Brothers Pizza, okay? Also, Fuel Marts in Ohio. The Fuel Mart in Perrysburg, Ohio, across the street from the TA in Pilot, they have Hunt Brothers Pizza in there. The Fuel Mart in South Vienna, Ohio, also has Hunt Brothers Pizza. I know that location for sure will do it 24 hours a day. I think the one in Perrysburg does not. So that's off of I-80 in Perrysburg, Ohio, like I say, for that Fuel Mart there. And also the Fuel Mart in Quaker City, Ohio, which is, I can't remember the exit number, but it's east of Columbus, east of Zanesville, and there's a little Quaker City and a little Fuel Mart there, and they have the Hunt Brothers Pizza, and I've gotten them from there plenty of times, and I know, as a matter of fact, they will do it early in the morning as well. They'll do the breakfast pizza in the morning, but if you want like something else at like 7 a.m., they will cook it for you. So I found the Hunt Brothers Pizza to be a fairly good option. Also do want to mention Hunt Brothers is available at a lot of the convenience stores in the South, mainly. So you may be able to get near one or park your truck near one somewhere in the South and get a Hunt Brothers Pizza. Like I say, for a convenience store pizza, not too bad. Okay, that's where my list ends. Just 6. That's the top 6 options I have for pizza for truck drivers. There are some that I've tried and I'm not too impressed. So let's hit that list, all right? Pizza Ranch. They're kind of over the Midwest. I know there's some in like Montana and stuff too. I tried one in Burlington, Iowa. There's a couple of warehouses there that I delivered to or was picking up from, blah, blah, blah. Found a place I could park in an abandoned, like, you know, what was like a Walgreens or something across the highway from a Pizza Ranch. So I ordered one, walked across the highway, got the pizza, and yeah, I wasn't too impressed. All right, next one I was not too impressed with, that, you know, trucks can get into some of these. Quick Trip with a Q. QIC, is it QICK or QIK? I can't remember. They're an Oklahoma-based convenience store, and some of them have truck parking, but their pizza, it's not so good. It's mostly dough, and I know I got one from them once, and I was like, it wasn't worth it. Got a pizza once at the Boise Stage Stop, which is a good place to fuel if you're on the right fuel network. I usually get good discounts there. It's off I-84, just southeast of Boise. Good place to park, but boy, their pizza, yeah, it was pretty expensive, and it weighed like a brick, and no, I was not impressed. And finally, some TAs have their own pizza that you can order and carry out from the Country Pride restaurants. And I've tried a couple of them, and again, not so much. Not too good. Oh, and let me add to that list. You know, Pilot's Flying J's, they sell pizza too. I don't think it's very good. I've never been impressed with their pizza. No, I just tend to avoid that if I can. Oh, and I know up in the Seattle area, I think, or in Portland, Oregon area, there's a Love's there, and they sold pizza. The Love's Pizza, and again, not so much. So, with any luck, hopefully later on today, I'll get my number 1 pizza on my list, Bubba's Pizza Fremont, Indiana. Yep, they're just a single place, but boy, is their pizza good. Or at least it was last time I had it. It's been since before COVID since I've had one, so we're probably banging on 9 months or more. And I hope they have the meatballs, so I can get the pepperoni and meatball pizza from Bubba's Pizza, baby. Thank you. And of course, he does love meatballs. And, I think that was a good, time to chime in with that, since this was all about pizza. And he likes pizza, I mean, he likes tuna. I mean, dogs like just darn near anything. Dogs will eat cat poo. They're not too discriminating, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, hey, thanks for tuning in. Hope this was, maybe a little educational for those of you pizza connoisseurs out there. And if nothing else, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had fun. As always, please subscribe. Please like, please comment, please ring that bell for notification. And as always, sniff that magic YouTube fairy dust. Clutch and Rusty, out.